Hi guys, welcome to my tutorials today. Today we'll be discussing on drug metabolism or biotransformation. You remember yesterday that we said pharmacokinetic is divided into absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion. So we're talking about metabolism today, also known as biotransformation. Now, after a drug is being absorbed, because generally most of the drugs that we take into our body are lipid soluble drugs. Most of those oral drugs we take are lipid soluble drugs. The reason why we take lipid soluble drugs is because lipid soluble drugs are easily absorbed in the body. They pass through cell membrane easily because membrane is actually made up of a lot of lipids. Now, after these drugs have performed their function, they need to be broken down so that they can be excreted. And the kidney mainly excretes water soluble compounds or drugs. So we need to break them down to become water soluble. The process of trying to converting lipid soluble drugs to water soluble drugs so that they can easily be excreted is what we call drug metabolism or biotransformation. Lipid soluble drugs are non-polar drugs. Water soluble drugs are polar drugs. So let's quickly now move on to the definition. Definition: biotransformation can be defined as the chemical reaction which occur in the body that change drugs from non-polar lipid soluble form to polar water soluble form that are easily excreted by the kidney. So with that, you can get that definition easily. What is the importance of biotransformation? One, biotransformation inactivates most drugs. Most drugs that we take in are active. Biotransformation makes them inactive. Biotransformation also causes detoxification of the toxic component of some drugs. Then, biotransformation helps to activate some drugs. It is these drugs that we refer to as pro-drugs. So you get the point. Pro-drugs are drugs that are actually inactive, but after biotransformation, they become active. Next, let's talk about the site of biotransformation. The site of biotransformation includes the liver. It is the primary site, the major site of biotransformation. The intestinal mucosa and the intestinal lumen, plasma, kidney, skin, lungs, they are all sites of biotransformation. But the primary site of biotransformation is the liver. Now, in the intestinal mucosa and lumen, what are there that can actually cause biotransformation, that can actually break down drugs? What enzymes are there? In the intestinal mucosa, we have monoamine oxidase. Monoamine oxidase is an enzyme that can break down catecholamines, that's epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine. It is found in the mucosa of the GIT. Then, in the lumen of the gut of the GIT, we have glucuronidase. It's an enzyme that can also bring about biotransformation. These are the enzymes responsible for biotransformation in the intestine. Next, let's move on to the plasma. In the plasma, we have three different enzymes. Catech-O-methyltransferase. Catech-O-methyltransferase breaks down epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine, that's the catecholamine. We also have esterase. Esterase breaks down esters. We also have amidase that actually break down amides. That's for plasma, the enzymes in the plasma that brings about biotransformation. Let's now go to the most important part in biotransformation, the liver. Different parts of the liver is actually involved in biotransformation, and they include the cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm, there's an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase, the hydrogenase enzyme. It is necessary for biotransformation. Also, the mitochondria. In the mitochondria, we have N-acetyltransferase and monoamine oxidase. It's very important for biotransformation. We also have the lysosome. The lysosome is actually a part of the liver necessary for biotransformation. But the most important parts, the master of biotransformation, is the microsome. The microsome is the most important part of the liver that takes part in biotransformation. Why did we say so? Let's now move on to microsome. The microsome is very important because it has a system of enzyme which we refer to as the cytochrome P450. The cytochrome P450 is a very important enzyme in biotransformation, and it is an enzyme that we see in the microsome. Cytochrome P450 has more than 20 families, just like cytochrome P451, cytochrome P452, just that way, up to 20, more than 20. This cytochrome P451 to 20 have subgroup. So cytochrome P451 has subgroup A, B, C, etc. Cytochrome P452 have A, B, C, just be going that way. There are very many enzymes involved in biotransformation. However, it is worthy to note that of all the enzymes that are in the cytochrome P450 family, just 3 isoenzymes have been found to be very important in humans, and they include cytochrome P451, cytochrome P452, and cytochrome P453. Those 3 isoenzymes are very important in biotransformation in human. These are the exam points. Cytochrome P450 3A4 stroke cytochrome P450 3A5 is the most important and the best in bringing about biotransformation. About 30 to 50% of all drugs that we take in, of all biotransformation, is actually done by cytochrome P450 3A4 stroke cytochrome P450 3A5. So generally, it is majorly cytochrome P453A4, but in this material, it is just giving us cytochrome P453A4 stroke 5. It is very important you know that. After cytochrome P453A4, the next most important is cytochrome P450 2D6. Cytochrome P450 2D6 is the next in line after cytochrome P450 3A4. So cytochrome P450 2D6 also is involved in lots and lots of biotransformation. So this is very important to know these important steps and important points about biotransformation. The most important points to remember from our tutorials today include 1. You should know the definition of biotransformation. Very important to know that definition. Very easy. It's simply the process of converting or changing drugs that are lipid soluble to water soluble form so that they can easily be excreted. You know the importance of biotransformation? Very easy. You know what's a prodrug? A prodrug is a drug that is inactive but become active by the help of biotransformation. Prednisone is converted to prednisolone. All right, that's an example. Prednisone is a prodrug. It gives rise to prednisolone. Next, we have the site of biotransformation. We all know the sites, but we know the most important site, which is the liver. And we found out that the liver has different enzymes. Within the liver, different parts takes place in biotransformation, but the most important site is the microsome. Why is the microsome so important? Because of cytochrome P450 family. That enzyme is so necessary in biotransformation. In human, only cytochrome P451, 2, and 3 is important, and they are well known. However, cytochrome P453A4 stroke 5 is of great importance, the greatest in bringing about biotransformation. Then the second after that is cytochrome P452D6. Remember these points. Thank you very much, and see you 6 p.m. tomorrow, while we end our topic on biotransformation. We'll be discussing on the phases of biotransformation. That's a theory question.